Alright, let's hop right to it. One of the first things you are going to do on your journey to becoming a software engineer is to become more familiar with a tool called the terminal. Again, it's an essential tool for lots of different reasons. You're going to be doing tons of activity in the terminal, compiling and executing code, debugging your code, executing tests, searching for files and the content in them, etc. So don't let the console scare you, it is actually your best friend. If you haven't yet, go ahead and open your terminal. If you're on Windows, I mean your PowerShell, and not in administrative mode. Let's start off simple. Type "who am I" and hit enter. You should see your username. Okay, how about another one? PWD, short for present working directory. This should print out the full file path from the root folder in the hard drive to where you currently are in the system. Directory and folder mean the same thing. I will use those terms interchangeably. Okay, next command, ls, short for listing. This lists out all the files and folders that are in your current location. And now, if you notice, you're actually in your home folder, right? By default, when you open your terminal or PowerShell, it opens under your user and subsequently you land on your home folder. What you're probably used to is using a file explorer of some kind to view your folders and files, right? The terminal can do all the same stuff your file explorer can, the only difference is that it's text-only representation. Your terminal or PowerShell is what's called a command line interface, or CLI for short. In contrast, your file explorer is called a graphical user interface, or GUI for short. Rather than being text-based interaction like your command line, a GUI is a visual way to interact with a system. At first, you may struggle to remember commands and move around in the terminal. However, do not be tempted to revert back to using a GUI. The only way to get better at using the terminal is to keep using the terminal. And as you'll see later on in the course, the terminal is actually a very, very powerful tool. Anyways, PSA over, let's move on. Just like a file explorer, in each terminal session, you can only be in one folder at a time. So in order to navigate directories, you use the cd or change directory command. Pick any folder to cd into and then type cd followed by the name of the folder. Once you're inside that new folder, go ahead and ls again to view the contents of this folder. Feel free to look around, cd again if you want to, etc. And then when you're ready, go ahead and type cd without any arguments, and then that'll always return you home. These four commands right here, who am I, pwd, ls, and cd, they are non-destructive commands that just tell you information about the file system and move you around, so they're always safe to run. Now let's try some other commands. You can make a folder with the make directory command, or mkdir, and then give it the name of a new folder you want to make. As an example, I'll make a new folder called hello, and then you can see it pop up on the right side here. And of course, if you can make folders, you can also delete them. You do this with the rmdir or remove directory command. Easy, right? Cool, just a few more commands here. The window's starting to get a little busy, so I'm going to clear it with a keyboard shortcut, Ctrl-L. Alternatively, you can type the command clear. On top of making folders, you can also make files, and this is done with the touch command. The touch command is actually used to modify file permissions, which we're not going to learn about yet, but if you specify a file that doesn't exist, it creates it for you. On my end here, I'm going to touch a test.txt file. .txt is just an extension for text files, and then as you can see, if I open it on the right here, it's just an empty file because I just created it. Cool. And now, to remove the file, you can use the rm command, short for remove. Quick note about rm here, rm permanently deletes a file from memory. It's not like using the GUI where files get sent to the trash, so use that command carefully. And that's a wrap on this lesson. There are tons more terminal commands, but this is a good set for you to start with for now. As you continue to work your way through this course, we'll keep getting better and better at using the terminal, and then at that point, we can learn new commands that you'll need to use. Great job, folks. In the next lesson, we're going to write our first program and learn how to use the text editor, Vim. See you soon.